Hi guys, how are you doing? And welcome back to Dr. Baby's channel. Welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year guys! So how has the year been treating you? For me, the year started kind of busy, but we roll with it every now and then. Yes, but it's been a great one, and I want to wish everyone a prosperous new year, a year filled with great things, blessings. So guys, I want to quickly pass a message across to you. I would really appreciate it if you follow me on Instagram, to get to see another side of my life. Instagram is easily accessible, you can easily message me on the go, and at the same time I would respond quickly because sometimes I might not be able to answer some of the questions on YouTube because of YouTube guidelines and restrictions, the policy and all that. Anyways, okay, so let's dive into the video for today. So today's video is going to be a bit different. We're starting the new year on a very good note, and I found out there were a lot of questions unanswered. Even though I tried to explain some of these answers, trying to answer some of those questions, but typing, sometimes you don't want to type for so long. So I decided that this year I would, especially in this video, I would answer all those questions. Okay, so just stay tuned. Maybe you just want to grab a cup of tea, or maybe a cup of some of your juice or smoothie. But you know what, let's say no to soda drinks this year. Okay, let's try to stay healthy. I will be talking more on, there's a lot of juice on this channel this year. I promise you guys, I'm going to touch on all aspects really of life. And I also have some vlogs, I have some Christmas memories I also want to share with you. Okay, so let's just cut all this rants and get into the video. First question I will be addressing is, why is it that doctors are not jetting out of Nigeria? They're not emigrating. Some of them are just stuck in the country, and meanwhile, they earn peanuts. So in the comment section, I tried to explain, and then I also included that I would make a video on this. There are a lot of factors affecting immigration, in fact, affecting migration in general. Okay, now it's not just the doctors that want to emigrate from Nigeria, and immigration, migration in total has always been a thing that has been happening for a long time now. Okay, so people move into the country, people move out of the country. That is normal. Okay, and Nigerian doctors have been jetting out of Nigeria for as long as I can remember. Okay, even before the economy got this terrible. In general, before doctors can even think of migrating, they have to consider so many things. As an individual, anyone can just travel to a country, and then you can just pick up maybe an administrative job, you can pick up any kinds of jobs, right? But for doctors are limited. For you to practice in any country of your choice, you have to be licensed in that country. So for you to obtain the license, you need to write a licensing exam. Now, the licensing exam is where the problem really is. It might not really be the exam proper, but you have to collate your documents. After collecting your documents, you have to be sure that you are eligible to write or to sit for the licensing exam. So when you eventually qualify or become eligible to write this exam, then you pay for your exam, right? Now, as you can see, it's in steps. It doesn't happen just in one day. Okay, now funds are very important. These exams are not, they're not peanuts. You don't pay just a token to write this exam or to even register. And one thing is, you register for the exam, they verify your documents. A lot of things have to be put in place, and at each stage, money is involved. Now tell me, how much do Nigerian doctors earn? So just imagine someone who has a family, he's got 2 or 3 kids, and they have to go to school, they would feed, and he still has exams to pay for. So you can imagine this is one of the problems. And the thing is, eventually, when these people save up and then they try to write these exams, some are so unlucky, they fail these exams. Now, that's a huge problem, right? After failing this exam, some give up and then they just resort to fate that, okay, they're just going to continue working in Nigeria until a miracle eventually happens. And that's why you find some people stuck in Nigeria. While others don't give up, they keep trying, right? But you know, this can be really draining. It's draining them emotionally, it's draining them financially, it's draining them mentally. Okay, so now imagine that's even to go out of the country. Some doctors, female doctors who already have kids, or maybe someone who just put to bed. Now, traveling is not just about obtaining a visa, buying your tickets and then you fly. Even if they're going to provide you with accommodation and then with some other things, you definitely cannot take your family all at once like that. You have to get there, stabilize yourself. So imagine this female doctor who just put to bed. There's no way she's gonna go there with her baby because she needs someone to care for this baby. She can't be at work and at the same time be nursing a baby. And at the same time, she can't even take maybe her mom along with her. And getting a nanny outside the country, it's expensive. Now back at home, it's very easy, right? You have family members, your in-laws who are ready. Like for you to even go to work, they will even volunteer to come pick the baby up or just tell you, oh, just drop the baby off on your way to work. Like, you have the support system. So this is lacking for anyone who is going to be outside the country. I mentioned something about people not passing these exams. Before you even get to the stage of the licensing exams, well, this is not common for all countries, okay? The countries that I know really request for this will be the UK, Canada, and probably Australia. They always want to test your knowledge in English. So it's called a test of English, right? IELTS, but some people will call it IELTS or OET. These two exams are exams that doctors can do, not just doctors, nurses, healthcare professionals in general. So you need a certain score for you to be eligible to even sit for the licensing exams. So you can imagine, and this can be really frustrating. I've seen cases whereby doctors, get to write these exams over and over, some even 8 times, especially in Nigeria. And personally, I feel a kind of manipulation is being done to these exams or to the results because it's absurd. Why would someone write an exam 8 times? Really? I know the government is not in support of doctors relocating, but you don't need to frustrate their efforts. Money is being wasted, okay? And people are getting drained. They're getting burnt out emotionally and mentally. And I'm also using this medium to call on, the English test bodies, IELTS, OET, please probe, look into what is being done behind closed doors when it comes to these exams for Nigerians. Please, if you get to ever, stumble on this video, or if any one of you who is watching this video has a link or a connection with those people, or maybe you even have someone who works there, they should look into this. I feel this is totally unfair. There is freedom of movement. I can decide today that I don't want to be where I am today and I want to go to another country. But the government, the system should not limit me from doing that or from aiming higher or from improving myself or adding to myself. Literally, anything that has to do with doctors, it's all about exams. Exams are just being done over. Some people don't even have the strength to do this. And for some people, when they fail an exam the first time, the next thing they do is to give up. So all these things too are factors that limit people from emigrating. All this immigration thing, sometimes I feel like it's a mirage, to be sincere, because it's when you delve into it that you begin to unravel so many mysteries about it. It's always not as straightforward as people think it is. Lastly is obtaining the visas. Now, for you to write these exams, some don't even get the visas. Most people are being rejected. The reason why, I do not know. So some people encounter visa issues, and all that. And trust me, how much do doctors earn in Nigeria? For you to even have a solid bank account is a problem, right? And then, these people always expect that you should have something back at home. Now, some of these people don't even have a landed property, let alone own something. They're just living from hands to mouth. So a lot of factors are really involved in people migrating. I know sometimes people take the risk, to just leave everything behind, but for others, they might not be lucky. What works for one person might not work for another person. So my advice to everyone is, don't be pressurized into, oh, I need to relocate. If you're going to any country of your choice, make sure you do your research, find out everything you need to know about that country. You need to prepare yourself financially, mentally, spiritually as well. You have to be prayerful as well, because nowadays in this world that we live in, nothing is done without you involving God in it. Whosoever you are, I hope I've been able to address these issues of immigration, relocating, and all that. Let's dive into the next question. Okay, so I remember I made a video on working at the hospital, you being nice to everyone, especially the nurses. Yes, I remember I made reference to that. And someone replied in the comment section saying, oh, why is it that priorities are being given to the nurses? It's like nurses believe they are the ones training doctors and all that. From the way the person replied, I could sense a kind of a form of concern, and say maybe this person was kind of troubled and worried, and at the same time. So I am going to address this issue according to my own experience, and probably share some of what my own colleagues have experienced as well. Okay, so during internship, if you haven't watched my video on internship in Nigeria, I would suggest you check some of the videos I have made, my past videos, and watch that video, so that you would have a clearer idea on what I will be talking about, because I wouldn't go deep into that. Internship. Now, this is the picture. The very first time you get to meet your organs. Now, this is the hierarchy in the medical sector. The medical student, the house officer, the registrar, the senior reg or senior registrar, and then the consultant. Now, everything being done at the hospital is being shouldered by the house officer. If a patient comes in, it is the duty of the house officer to inform the registrar. Now the registrar informs the senior registrar, and then the senior registrar informs the consultant. Now, when you start your internship, I don't know about other places, but where I did my own internship, there was nothing like orientation. Trust me, it's like when you have just been pushed to the field that, okay, go and get the work started. And you're wondering, like, where are the tools? How do I use my tools? Who is going to teach me how to do this? You're seeing the cannula, and then you're wondering, am I just going to push that thing in? How do I do it? Who is going to pull me through? Trust me, your registrar or your senior reg is not going to be on ground to tell you what to do. They only give orders. Oh, okay, where is the house officer? Oh, where are the house officers in this firm? Where are the house? They're just going to search for you guys. Okay, we have 20 patients on ground. Go to, okay, let me use ONG as an example. Okay, go to antenatal ward. We're prepping for CS tomorrow. All I want you to do now, go and take some blood samples, site a line for that patient, put up normal saline, stabilize that patient, make sure everything is done, go and loan blood at the blood bank, go and do this, go and do that. As a house officer, all you need to do is to get your pen and your notepad. You quickly note down all those things, because you don't ask your oga, sir, what did you say? Trust me, Nigerian doctors don't like to repeat themselves. They say you're not proactive, they say you're not smart. So at that moment, you need to forget whatever you're thinking about, and all you do is just to jot down whatever your order says. So now this is what happens. You jot down everything, and now you call yourselves together, your fellow house officers, your fellow Sufayos, and then you're like, okay, number one, where is the blood bank? Number two, you start asking, have you taken a blood sample before? Have you sighted a line before? Now, all of you are confused, and they are searching for help. Now, tell me, as a house officer, would you go back to your oga and say, sir, I can't take samples, or I don't know how to? You can't. So all you do, well, you go to the ward, or even peradventure, the orders were given right on the ward. You go straight to the patient, and then you're waiting. You don't know what to do. You look around the ward. The only person you find, or should I say the only set of people you find on the ward, apart from the patients, are the nurses. Usually this is what happens. So the nursing system also has a hierarchy. So they have the student nurses, the staff nurse, the senior staff nurse, the matron, the chief nursing officer. Yes, the highest you find on the ward will be the matron. All you do, for me, I am speaking personally based on my own experience. So what I do is, you've been to this ward, you've seen how these people are also working with the patients. Definitely you don't go to a staff nurse, neither would you go to a student nurse, because a student nurse is also learning. In fact, you are far better than a student nurse. A student nurse is learning from you. So there's no way you would go to a student nurse, and you wouldn't go to a staff nurse likewise, because the staff nurse might just have been employed. You consider the age, because for nurses, the age also specifies the level of experience, or should I say the years of experience. So these elderly people are the ones that I go to, because, okay, let me just put it out there. My own mom is a retired nurse. Okay, so I try to picture someone like my mom on the ward as a nurse, because I know this person will be highly experienced. So I walk up to her, and then I talk to her calmly. Ma, the reg asked me to take a sample, and we are new interns, or we even go together as a group. We don't know what to do. Please, can you put us through? If you approach a good nurse in a good way, she would be willing to help you, because number one, she's thinking, these children are just like my children at home. And trust me, most nurses have their own children who are doctors as well. Okay, so if you as a newly graduated doctor, let me put it that way, you see nurses as who are they? Trust me, nurses have money as well. Most of them are even married to your ogas at work. Okay, most of them are married to consultants, and likewise most of their children are doctors like you. In fact, you will even find some of their children as senior registrars, as registrars at that same hospital where you work, or other hospitals. So sometimes, you need to calm down, okay? I understand that blood of, I'm now a doctor, I'm now this is all over you, but you need to calm down, okay? You are here to learn. You're not here to, it's when you have the skills, that's when you can blab, that's when you can show off. But if you don't know the skills, you have to be humble to learn from people that are highly experienced. The healthcare system is multidisciplinary. So don't put this doctor thing, okay, on your head. Just calm down. Because someday, if you want to own your hospital, you should have an idea of what is being done at every sector at the hospital. Because only you will manage your nurses, only you manage so many people. So when you work at a hospital, be willing to learn one or two things from different people. regardless of the rank or the level at which these people are. And that's why I mentioned in that video that you need to be nice to everyone. You need to be respectful, because everyone has one thing or the other that you need for you to function or for you to become independent as a medical doctor. Okay, so I'm not saying it that, oh, nurses are the ones training doctors. No, you have learned some things at your medical school, okay? But when it comes to the practical aspect, when it comes to needles, in fact, when it comes to catheter changing, it is not a thing that doctors do. It is done by nurses. Nurses will teach you how to do it. Even placement of NG tubes are done by nurses. So you see, you have a lot of skills to learn from them. Even your organs learn from these nurses. So if you see it that way, that nurses feel they train doctors, it is multidisciplinary. Nurses can take the place of a doctor. Likewise, a doctor can take the place of a nurse. So guys, that will be all the questions I would answer in this video, and I hope I've been able to answer them appropriately. But if not, you can still DM me on Instagram, okay, and then I would explain further if you have other questions you would like to ask. Okay, so that will be all for today, and don't forget to subscribe, like and share, and anticipate for more videos. Okay, this year we are dishing out videos. Okay. All right, see you guys, have a great day, bye.